I'm Kenna. So I did my first debate already. It was on the how the Trump administration didn't address COVID very well. And then, so this is going to be my response post. My response is going to be to Madison Butcher. And then she argued the side that there could not be another big war between powers, and then I'm arguing that there is going to be, or there could be. So the 3 points that she made were, or that I caught on to, were the nuclear weapons on the rise, so nobody's going to attack the countries with nuclear weapons. The second point she made was that other countries are kind of learning to, I guess, like stand on their own. And then her third point was that weapons were a sign of peace and deterrence. So for the first part, my counter argument to that is nuclear weapons I think are a little bit more dangerous, just because whoever has those powers, I feel like instead of deterring it, it's actually going to increase powers, or it's going to increase the likelihood of a war, because someone's going to say, oh, okay, well, we have these weapons, and someone else is going to say, okay, well, we've got these ones, and I feel like it's just more of a challenge, like, oh, I can do it better than you, kind of thing, and so I feel like it's not really a deterrence for the countries not to fight, and I also think that if smaller countries that don't yet have these nuclear weapons, like, learn about the bigger countries that have the weapons, then they're going to start to try and develop their own. And then it's just going to turn into like a big, I guess, situation with nuclear weapons. So, and on top of that too, I feel like the nuclear war would obviously be worse than on the ground, like fighting one-on-one, like in battle, like whatever. So it's obviously going to annihilate a lot of people. And it's just not going to be very good for like anyone anywhere. So then for her second point, my counter argument was that even though countries are able to kind of stand alone, like without help, I feel like we all kind of still need help. So an example of this was like the trade, and yeah, we can kind of, like, as the United States, we can kind of stand on our own, we can kind of do what we want, but if you think about it, like a lot of where we get our stuff is like out of the country, and so I feel like you still like trade, even though we might not need everything. Still a good way to kind of build relations with other countries, and as long as we still have that going on, then we're still having like good relations with other countries, at least like not like an agreement to not go to war, kind of. So I think it's just a good way of like assurance for yourself too, because you're like, okay, well, I'm friends with these people, they're not going to go off and try and hurt me. And that's kind of the same way with like the countries. So I think that even though countries can stand on their own, they still kind of need each other in order to back each other up, I guess is what that argument was. And then the last one was just, I feel like weapons are definitely a sign of war instead of deterrence. Because, again, it goes back to the first point that I had made where, if everyone has weapons, then, like, it could cause more tension. And then that's going to cause another war to break out. But I do understand where she's coming from, too, of if everyone has weapons, no one's going to hurt each other. So that one was a little bit harder to, like, argue with that point, but, yes, so those were my 3 counter arguments for her 3 claims. So thank you.